There's a reason you feel like you're having the same arguments over and over again. Even when it starts out about something else entirely, it always ends up there. Let's talk about what marriage counselors have studied for years about this topic so we can save you time, money, and heartache. I'm Jennell Elias. I'm clinically trained in marriage and family therapy, and I help couples with high-demand lives avoid feeling like distant roommates, restore intimacy, and build growth that actually lasts. You've probably heard by now that everyone has baggage from the past and things that trigger them that usually they end up bringing into the next relationship. And it is true, but in case you need a refresher, a trigger is something that causes a reaction within us because they remind us even loosely of some previous wound. Hearing a certain song, smelling a specific scent, or even watching a particular scene from a movie could be a trigger to some underlying feelings if they remind us of past hurts or someone we miss. Baggage are the biases and burdens we carry due to negative experiences we've had in the past, whether we're aware of it or not. Baggage can lead someone to never date a coworker again, for example, because one or more past experiences have taught them that dating someone at work causes more problems and heartache than it's worth. Baggage can also be passed down generationally. An action or decision taken by someone's great-grandparent can become a family's official way of doing things generation after generation without once really questioning why they always do things that way. They come from our own internal messages, from ways we were raised, and from life experiences that we've had. Some we are very aware of, some we might be blissfully unaware of. Interestingly, for some reason, we often end up choosing a life partner that both complements and clashes with our issues, our baggage, our stuff. Think of your own relationship or those of friends or family. Ever see the really logical, organized, detail-oriented person marry the artistic, free spirit? At first they will say, "I love how he keeps me grounded, and she pushes me outside of my comfort zone to experience new things." Then later, those very traits become the reason they are arguing down the line. Even in the case of two very similar people, let's say two introverts, for example, they will rarely argue about wanting to go to a big crowded party, but one might be more affectionate or even clingy, with maybe some abandonment issues if the partner pulls away, let's say, while the other might have deep-seated baggage about feeling controlled that gets set off when their partner is being too needy in their eyes. In that example, the tighter one partner clings on to keep them close, the more the other partner wants to pull away to avoid feeling controlled. And the more they pull away, the more it is triggering in the other that fear of being abandoned, which makes them cling tighter, and so on. This dynamic of unintentionally triggering each other due to each of our own baggage and our stuff, back and forth like that, has been studied for decades by relationship experts and goes by several names by now, but I call it the trigger tornado. It only takes one of you to get caught in the vortex and suddenly you're both going back and forth in endless cycles, stepping on each other's emotional toes until either a big blow up happens or you both shut down, invariably pulling away from each other and the relationship along the way. Brené Brown discusses how we all have stories we tell ourselves to explain the world around us. If we're standing in a place of insecurity, suddenly hearing, "I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need a chance to decompress," easily sounds like, "You are too much and I need some space to get away from you." Or, "Hey, I worked a double shift, so now I'm too tired to want to go out. Can we reschedule for tomorrow after I've gotten some sleep?" Could be misinterpreted as, "I don't love you anymore and I no longer enjoy spending time with you," even if that couldn't be further from how they really feel. If our baggage and our triggers set off this cycle of ongoing fighting, what can we do about it? The first step is to become more aware of the times when that is what's happening, both within ourselves and in our partners. One big sign that this might be going on is when the reaction is bigger than the situation would dictate. For example, a typical reaction to us giving someone a small gift would normally be either appreciation or maybe just surface level pleasantries if they didn't really like the gift too much, but they're too polite to say so. What is not a typical reaction would be getting very angry all of a sudden or bursting out crying. If that were to happen, chances are good that something else deep down got triggered by this small gift, even if we don't understand what it is just yet. More commonly, it can be as subtle as a passing comment, a well-meaning joke, or a small task like folding the laundry being done the wrong way, whatever that might mean to the person. These kind of things would normally bring up in others a small chuckle or a slightly irritated request to please not do that again. But if it actually ends up causing a major argument or some other much larger reaction that doesn't quite fit the situation, we might have pushed a button there and are now working with triggered insecurities, past pain, trauma, or baggage. In those cases, it's not really about what happened so much as it is about how the triggering event made the person feel. The second thing we can do as our awareness grows is learn how to talk to each other in a way that pushes past the cyclone of emotion and gets to the true heart of the matter. This one also takes practice, but there are specific techniques that can help as a guide while we develop the muscle of learning how to communicate with each other better. If you're interested, there are plenty of brilliant books you could buy that go over these tried and true techniques. Or you could check out the episode I previously did called 3 Techniques for Fighting Fair, just to save yourself some time and money. The important part is to interrupt these cycles with something different that actually gets us to turn toward each other rather than pulling away. If you come up with any questions while you're applying these principles, I do have a link at the bottom of each episode's description where you can submit your questions and then I answer them at a live Q&A session every few weeks. Feel free to submit your question anonymously or leave your contact info in case I have a follow-up question that might allow me to help better. Either way, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel so you don't miss the notification of the next time I go live. Until then, talk to you again soon.